Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Come in.
How's Warwick been for you so far? Is it different from a city university?
I think Warwick's been nice. One really good thing I find about a campus university is that you can find familiar faces walking around campus all the time.
Where do you usually get your textbooks for your course from?
Well, people don't really use textbooks anymore. They use PDFs more. But if you really had to, I guess you could get them at the library.
That's quite nice. How close is the nearest airport?
I think I'd say Birmingham Airport is the closest, and it's probably a 20-minute Uber ride away.
What's the typical temperature like during the winter?
If I really had to say, maybe from -3 to 3 degrees. So get yourselves a good buffer.
What's a typical Warwick night out outfit?
More than dresses and skirts, I think girls usually wear high-waisted jeans, a crop top, Jordans, and that puffer I was talking about.
That's nice. What's your favorite place to club at Warwick?
There are two main clubs that you can go, Neon and Smack. So Neon's atmosphere is better, but Smack has better music. So if I really had to choose, I think I choose Smack.
Fair enough. What's your favorite thing to eat off campus?
I think I can vouch for everyone on this. Everyone's favorite guilty pleasure is Vyali's fries.
Hi Aisha, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Of course, go ahead.
Do most graduates at Warwick leave with jobs?
Yeah, most of them do.
What year are people allowed to move off campus?
So there's no rule saying that as a first year you need to live on campus, but most freshers choose to because it's much easier to adjust to university life. And then in their second and third years, they shift off of campus because it's cheaper.
Alright, where do people generally move to after their first year on campus?
So mostly people move to either Coventry or Leamington or even this little town called Canley.
Alright, how is Leamington Spa like?
Leamington Spa is this really cute little town and it feels very safe because it's mostly students that live there. There's also a lot of shopping stores, restaurants, cafes and clubs, so there's always something to do. Also, have you met my dog? This is Kola.
Hi Sola, he's so cute. Can you tell me if it's easy to get a summer internship or not?
So it's definitely not an easy process. It is a little competitive and you will only get it if you really work hard for it. So don't take it too lightly, but also don't be demotivated because if you have a good enough application and if you really work hard for it, then you can definitely get a summer.
Great, thanks for that. Which accommodation should one avoid while applying?
So personally, I don't really have any views on this, but I've heard from a lot of my peers that Roots is definitely something you should avoid simply because you have to share a washroom with a lot of people and the room sizes are pretty small.
Alright, thank you for your time Aisha.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello.
Hi Amrita, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Of course, I'd be more than happy to answer. But my room is a little bit of a mess right now and I'm a control freak. So do you mind if we take a walk around my room and I'll also answer your questions along the way?
No, that's completely alright. Don't worry about it. What's your favorite place to be on campus?
Okay, so my favorite place on campus is definitely the Clyfield Hill, especially during the spring summer, because it's just such a cute place and there's so many people around when the weather's nice. And my favorite thing to do there is actually having a good little picnic with my girls. 10 on 10 experience, would highly recommend.
How many societies are you currently in?
So I'm part of another society besides Warwick India Forum. I'm part of the Warwick Women's Career Society, WWCS. But I'd suggest that since all of you are just coming into university, that you venture out, explore your interests and join as many societies as you can. Because not only is it a great way to bond with people and get out of your comfort zone, it's a really enriching experience to get to know people of different backgrounds, different cultures. And you're in your first year, you have all the time in the world, so I'd say just go for it.
Do people go out to party?
Okay, so I'd say that on average, people end up going out at least twice or thrice a week, generally to Neon and Smack. But then again, you can go out any day of the week that you want. If it's a random Monday and you're just sick of assignments, you can literally go to whatever place you want to go out to. But then yes, again on average, people end up going once or twice a week.
And how long do these night outs usually last at Warwick?
So the night outs at Warwick are really long, and I think by the time you get back to university, to your accommodations, the sun is already up because the clubs shut by 4:30, and then you'll come back. You'll probably end up eating the Viali's fries that you got packed, or you'll end up making some Maggie with your friends. So yeah, I'd say that by the time you go to sleep, the sun is already up.
Alright. Well, in your opinion, is the library a social or a silent space?
Good question. I think to answer that question, all of you will have to ask yourselves whether you're social or silent, because the library is the library. It's what you make of it. So the library has 5 floors. The first and second floors are collaborator zones. So if you have a group project and you want to meet your entire group over a particular task that you have, you can meet them on the first and second floors and brainstorm ideas. The third, fourth, and fifth floors are the silent floors. But again, word of advice, the fourth floor is known to be really disruptive. So especially during exam time, if you get distracted easily, the fourth floor is not it.
And what's your favorite floor on the library?
Good question. And as much as I hate to say this, my favorite floor on the library is the fourth floor.
Fair enough. How often are you able to go to London?
So I'm able to go to London quite frequently because I have friends there. So my accommodation is free, my meals are free. But in year 1, I was able to go there once in almost 2 months. So I'd suggest again, not just London, but explore the UK as much as you can, because again, you have all the time on your hands. And at the end of your 3 years or 4 years, you're really going to regret not going out that often.
And how do you travel to London?
Okay, so the best way to travel to London is by train. So you can either take a train from the Coventry station or the Leamington Spa station. Again, it depends on what ticket is cheaper at the time that you're booking your tickets. And I'd also suggest getting a rail card. So it's just a £70 rail card. But then the deals that you get on every single ticket you book are insane. So you end up recovering that amount over the course of your stay at Warwick. But then again, if you're a man, you can just get an Uber all the way to London and you should be fine.
Alright. Should everybody watching this video be stressed or blessed to be coming to Warwick?
Good question. I'd say a little bit of both, but the blessed bit a lot more. Because whether you're a King's reject or you rejected Kings to be at Warwick, trust me, it's going to be the best decision of your life. Warwick really, really does feel like home. You just have to keep the right people around. And over the course of 3 years, the memories you're going to make, the network that you're going to build, you are not going to get it at any city university, not just in the UK, but anywhere in the world. So definitely, you're a blessed one if you're coming to Warwick.
That's some really valuable insight. Thanks, Advika.
Thank you so much, Khushbu. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm good.
That's nice. Where are you right now?
I am actually in Paris right now. I just went for the Olympic athletics event. I saw Neeraj Chopra win silver for India there. It was quite the experience.
That's so cool. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions while you walk the streets of Paris?
Yeah, sure.
What, according to you, is a Warwick stereotype that does not hold true?
A stereotype that does not hold true. I think a lot of people think that a lot of students that go to Warwick are just LSE and Oxford rejects. And I don't think that's true. I know a lot of people that got into LSE and chose to come here actually.
Wow, that's shocking. What's a cool Warwick tradition?
A cool Warwick tradition, something that Warwick does that no one else does, is this thing called circling, where every Wednesday we sort of we play circling games, where societies host their own event, where everyone sits in a circle, drinks beer and plays some games, after which we go to the campus club night. It's called Pop, and everyone just has a lot of fun doing it. We normally have themed costumes, and it's just a really fun thing to do.
That sounds really cool, actually. What's one thing that Warwick has that other universities don't?
I think Warwick has a really good balance of a very good academic environment, and also just gives you the chance to do a lot of other things as well. A lot of these city universities in the UK, they offer a lot of good academic programs, but you can't really do a lot of extracurriculars. At Warwick, you can play so many sports, you have so many societies that you can do alongside your studies that just sort of helps you grow as a person while you do your academics.
How athletic would you rank your school from Olympian to part-time couch potato?
From Olympian to part-time couch potato. So if 0 is part-time couch potato and 10 is an Olympian, I actually give Warwick about a solid 7. There's a lot of good athletes in Warwick, and Yeah, just it's a pretty athletic university. There's a lot of sports that you can play. The sports hub has a lot of amenities where you can play, all your racket sports, football, rugby. So yeah, I'd say it's a pretty athletic experience, athletic university.
That's good to know. What would you say is the coolest place at this sport?
At the sports hub, all right. I'd say it's a tie between my personal favorites. I'd say it's a tie between the sauna and the rock climbing walls. The sauna is just an amazing place to go after you've gone to the gym. It's a nice place to unwind. And the rock climbing walls, Warwick has these really good rock climbing and bouldering walls that they keep changing every other week. So the tracks are always new, and it's just a nice hobby to try out when you're at university.
What's the best tip for juggling academic life and social life at Warwick?
The best tip for juggling in academic and social life. What I'd say is, in your first year, don't try too hard to balance everything. Give yourself the time to get it right. Take some time out to enjoy yourself. In the first term, you're probably not going to be paying as much attention to academics, but naturally you just get more serious towards the second and the third term as exams and assessments pile up, and that just naturally everyone gets into a sort of study mode at that time. But I think you just need to be really disciplined. You need to be able to manage your time really well. And if you can manage your time, make sure that you don't do a lot of the things that aren't important, just waste time around, you should be fine.
That's a great tip, honestly. What's an essential item to bring to campus when moving in?
Alright, so there's two things. One I'd say is, if you're an international student, you should definitely get an extension board, because you have so many chargers to bring, and it just makes a lot of sense not to have to buy new chargers the entire time. And another thing I would say is you need to get a speaker, because if you have a speaker, you can host prees, and if you host prees, you can meet just so many people.
Thank you so much, Trimal. I hope you enjoy the streets of Paris.
Thank you. See you.
Hello.
Hi, Path. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I was just getting ready for an interview.
Oh, good luck with that. And thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Can I know if you feel like you dress up to go to class or to go around campus?
So I think there's a wide spectrum of people there. So it ranges from people who look like that they've just gotten out of bed and come to class to people who are wearing the suit and carrying a briefcase. So I think if you're on the middle of that spectrum, you should be completely fine.
What's your favorite Warwick Instagram account?
My favorite Warwick Instagram account is actually Warwick Toilet Connoisseur, because I think it provides a lot of useful information as it describes all the toilets around campus.
What's this building called The Grid?
So the grid, or the Lutz Learning Grid, is one of the 3 learning grids on campus, along with the Biomed Grid and the University House Grid. And due to its brilliant location next to Pret in the Lutz building, it's very popular among students. It's a good place to socialize and study.
Alright. What, according to you, is the best accommodation on campus?
So I think this question is obviously very personal and subjective, but according to me, the best accommodation on campus is my own Claycroft. I think this is because it's pretty moderately priced, and it also is brilliantly located between Central Campus and Tesco.
What's your tip for a perfect work and social life balance?
I think my main tip for this is actually scheduling and trying to keep some time out for yourself during an off day such as a Wednesday for economics students, or a Saturday and a Sunday.
How do you get around campus?
So if you're living on campus as a first year student, typically you don't need anything, you can just walk around. But if you're living in Lakeside and Sherburne and you find the walk to be a bit long, you can rent a bike or get one.
And how much do you usually end up walking every day around campus?
I think I end up walking every day around 10 to 15,000 steps.
Wow, that's a lot. If you had to use a word to describe your uni experience, what would that be?
I think that word would actually be multifaceted.
Alright. Is there a place where I can see sports matches with my friends?
I think the Fusion Bar would be a good place as it screens all Premier League matches during the weekends, and even the Varsity or a room in Fab could be a good option.
Alright. Is there a place where I can get college merch?
Yeah, so you can get college merch at the Roots grocery store, and if you buy it early during the term, you can get good discounts on that too.
Alright, thank you so much, Path, for helping me out.
And no worries, thank you.
Hey there.
Hi, Amank, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. That's a very lovely car, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Absolutely not. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How has your self-catered experience been on a scale of 1 to 10 at Warwick so far?
So my self-catered experience at Warwick, I'd say, was around 8 because I knew how to cook. It might be a bit low for someone who does not know how to cook. So learn how to cook and come.
Makes sense. And I've heard this a lot from people and students. So what's its purpose?
So, purple, firstly, is not just a color at Warwick. It's a drink. So, it is, I think, a mix of a lager and a spirit with a little bit of black currant somewhere in there. And it's basically the bottle of fantasy at Warwick.
Alright. What's your favorite place to go to on campus for a late night snack?
Oh, my favorite place on campus would have to be Adams. So Adams is like our very own mini truck of McDonald's there. It's amazing. It gives everything from burgers, fries to kebabs, donors, everything.
Alright. If you could change one thing about Warwick, what would that be?
One thing about Warwick that I would change is probably the god-awful geese over there. There are way too many. They make a mess around campus. But, you know, they're pretty friendly sometimes. Sometimes they attack people. But they're good. They're fine. But yeah, I would like to change that about Warwick, yeah.
Have you ever seen a celebrity on campus? If yes, who?
Well, I would like to consider myself a celebrity, but no, I've seen an actual celebrity as well on campus. Last year, I think at the WIF Comedy Club, we had Samir Raina come in, and he's a pretty big celebrity. I mean, I think everybody knows him. It was really fun, and you know, because I was a member of WIF, I got to go to a pub with him and have a one-on-one interaction with him. It was wonderful.
That's really cool. Can you describe the best society event you've been to so far?
Oh, so the best event I think that I've been to so far has to be the forum that was in February this year. I think it was absolutely wonderful. We had like 8 people coming from India, 8 very well-known people in different fields. And I think, you know, I got a chance to meet Ankur Warikoo. It was amazing. It was really good.
That's nice. What's the typical class size like at Warwick?
So the typical class size is actually divided. So we have lectures and seminars. Our lectures are pretty hefty. We have like 500 people in one class. But our seminars are good, small, tiny, one-on-one interaction with the professors. So I'd say that's around 20 to 30 people.
Alright. How many hours do you end up studying per day?
Per day, since we don't have too much to do, I'd say at least in year 1, around 1 to 2 hours a day maximum.
That's quite doable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ivan.
Thank you.
Hi, Arya. How are you doing today?
Hi Khushbu, I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
No, go ahead.
If you had to choose a song to describe your college experience, what would it be and why?
Good question. I would choose Jeevan Ke Din by Kishore Kumar because college life is so fun. Every day is like something new. There's always something or the other happening, and you don't have to worry about what's happening tomorrow. You know, you just enjoy the day as it is.
Alright. What's your favorite society on campus?
WIF, 100%. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of WIF. I really love WIF. I love the people. And everybody works so well together. And we've achieved so much as a society in the last year. And this year we're going to do even better, I'm sure of it. So yeah, get ready for WIF in 2024, 2025.
Thank you so much, Arya. It was lovely speaking to you.
Yeah, bye.
Hi, Malvika. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, sure, let's go.
What do you think is the best place to have Indian food on campus?
It definitely has to be Anna's dosa because the hot dosas there are out of the world and it's the best place for vegetarians as well. My personal favorite there has to be the chicken roll though.
That's great. Is your college academically competitive or do you guys help each other out?
I would say it's a mix of both actually because it is quite competitive, but you also have your friends helping you out through every stage of every module, through every exam, so it's a great mix of both.
Have you ever lost your student ID card?
Yes, I have 6 times till now.
And how do you get it renewed if you've lost your ID?
It's actually quite easy, so you just have to go to Senate House and then ask them and beg them to get you a new ID so that you don't lose it the next time, but you always do somehow.
Fair enough. Who is your ride or die on campus?
My ride or die is Arya Doshi, who's also the president of Warwick India Forum this year.
What's your favorite place to study on campus?
It has to be the library, but only not during the exam season because that time it gets really crowded. But otherwise, it's the 5th floor on the library.
Alright, here's my last question for you. What is the one regret you have about your first year?
I would say it has to be that I never really went out quite a lot in my first year because my accommodation was also really far. So I would say if you're a first year, you should make it a point that you do really go out with your friends, because second year and third year tends to get a lot more hectic.
That's good to know, Malka. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, but I'm in a bit of a rush, so let's make this quick.
Alright. What's your all-time favorite thing about Warwick?
Its ability to feel like home.
Aww. How many hours of sleep do you end up getting on an average?
I normally get about 3 or I get 12. There's no consistency. 3 if I'm on a night out, more than 12 if I don't have anything to do. Would you like some water?
That'd be great, thank you. Do you really feel safe walking around campus at night?
I do feel safe. Community safety is always there in case something does happen, and you can have them on speed dial in that case, but they've always got vans driving around and you can step out whenever it is that you'd like to.
That's nice. What's your number one tip to be successful at Warwick?
Don't underestimate the power of a good network. Go to lectures, go to society events, go to your seminars, talk to people, talk to your professors. You never know what wisdom you might pick up.
That's some great advice. What do you not like about Warwick?
The fact that we're only there for 6 months of the year.
Oh, that makes sense. What is an underrated spot around campus in your opinion?
I love Lakeside. I love looking at the swans and the geese. There's little benches there. It's so peaceful to sit and think.
What is a tip regarding socializing and making friends that you would like to give to a fresher?
Keep an open mind. You never know what type of person you might end up getting along with. And remember that everyone's in the same boat as you. We're all scared. Making friends is a daunting task for everyone because we're in a new place by ourselves for the first time. So don't overthink it. Just enjoy yourself.
That's awesome advice, Rashi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.